So, my question, this is a super vague, super broad question. Who the fuck are you, Shon?
Who is Shon Weathers? Shon Weathers doesn't know himself 100% yet. I don't think anybody ever really fully learns themselves 100%.
I think that's a good thing, though.
From what you do know, who are you? Like, what do you... like, when you're introducing yourself to someone, do you say, "Hi, I'm Shon Weathers. I'm a senior DIFT major. I'm a rapper." Or, like, how do you express Shon Weathers in a nutshell?
How do I express Shon Weathers in a sarcasm?
Sarcasm?
I'm a sarcastic asshole. Like, I'm so sarcastic. But it's like an asshole in a good way. Like, it's the reason I have friends type of thing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a dreamer, a creator. Like, I don't like living within confines. Like, you know what I'm saying? I need freedom. I need creative freedom. I need physical freedom. Like, I just like being able to do what I want to do, and I'm very passionate about everything. Like,
welcome back, everybody, to the Visionary Flow podcast. My name is Alex Damas.
And I'm your co-host, Kevin Thomas.
Our producer, Sophie, is, again, absent. Because we recorded the last episode and this episode on the same day. So she's not going to be here for either one of them.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately.
All right, so we're joined here by our guest today, Shon Weathers, who is a rapper, a DIFT major, and all-around super cool and interesting guy that's always skateboarding.
From the East Coast.
From the East Coast. So my first question for you is, my father's name is Shon, and your name is Shon. How do you respond to that?
Your father must be a great man. That's all there is to say.
He is. He spells his name different though. But now into like a more...
How does he spell it?
S-E-A-N.
I never understood that.
Yeah,
it's Irish. So it's Irish.
So like the pronunciation.
It's Gaelic, yeah. And so the root is like the S-E. Like, so one of my favorite Irish words is sorshi, which you hear sorshi. How do you think it's spelled?
S-O-R-S-H-E?
No. S-A-O-I-R-S-E.
What?
So the S-E creates the sh sound. In Gaelic, but yeah. But now into more interesting questions regarding you as a person. So you were recently featured in the Newswire as the featured artist of the week, talking about your rapping. So what, I guess I want to like build on that. So what kind of like rapping stuff do you make? Are you solely like lyrical, or do you produce your own beats as well?
I'm actually currently in the midst of learning how to make my own beats. For the most part, it's me, and then I have a friend back home. I've been working with him since high school. Brandon. He makes most of my beats, and then like I'll buy beats from people and stuff. But yeah, I don't really produce my own music yet. Like, I've had a say and stuff. Like, I've built a beat where I'll be sitting with Brandon and I'll tell him exactly how I want it to sound and what I want in it and how I want it to drop and shit. And he'll... Can I curse?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
And I'll do that, but I haven't ever actually like physically moved everything around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's when I do that,
it's gonna be lit.
It's gonna be lit. Yeah, it's gonna be lit. Like, I can't wait till I can do that, because especially when you make your own beat, it's like you know exactly how it's gonna sound, so you know exactly what to say to it and how to use it. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody else will use it the way you would because you made it.
Yeah.
And to have to cater to somebody else's beat, it kind of dampens creativity to an extent. But you know, it's still fun.
So when you're writing a song, do you start with the lyrics, or do you have a beat in mind that you're going to go to and then you write to that beat?
It really just depends.
It depends?
It really depends.
When you started out, what was it? Was it like, man, I can rhyme, I can do all this cool shit, and then you had beats, or did you like just hear a beat and you started like freestyle into it, and then you were like, I can be a rapper?
It started off just little verses I would write, like because my pops was into music growing up, and you know, like, he wasn't nothing crazy. Yeah, I always thought he was good, you know, but I was his son.
Yeah,
you know, so I might have been biased, but like, you see Dad doing it, it's like, oh, I wanna be like Dad. You 5-6 years old, right? So I wrote little verses of, what was it? My name is Shon. Better get it right. keep it ice nice every day, every night. Like that was the beginning. Like, I wrote that at like 6, 7 years old, and like I just kept doing that. Like I never used a beat. I would just write and then like show them to my pops, and then eventually it probably got more serious around the end of middle school. So like around 8th grade, I actually started carrying a book, and I would be writing in the book throughout the day and stuff, and then. Freshman year of high school is when I started adding beats to it and like looking for beats and shit, and then it just took off from there. Like,
so that was like 2009, 2010 when you actually started taking it serious.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you think you were really...
No, 2008. I'm sorry.
2008.
Yeah.
Okay. So does that mean were you influenced by the music that was coming out in 2008? And was that more so, or like you mentioned your pops was into music? I also want to ask what kind of music.
Same. He was
into rap.
Yeah.
Okay. So, or were you more influenced in his kind of older style? Because I'm assuming he was like 90s. Yeah. So, were you more influenced by that,
Definitely
or the music of the time?
Yeah, definitely influenced more by the 90s music and like the 80s music. My whole family was pretty musical. So like, whenever we was listening to music, my mom listened to like neo soul and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
She listened to a little bit of rap, but she mostly listened to neo soul. You know when parents be like cleaning up in the morning on Saturdays and stuff, so you hear that music blasting through the house. That's what it was. So she played that, and then Dad was mostly rap, and then my grandfather played like real oldies, like Temptations and stuff and all that. So I had a really diverse musical intelligence. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
I had a really diverse form of that, and it kind of had some influence from all of that, really.
Yeah.
Just at first, I wouldn't say that there was any influence at all by anything. Like in the beginning, when I was just writing verses, didn't feel no influence probably until high school.
Do you think that was because you just weren't aware of it, or because you weren't or because you were in kind of a rebellious stage where you're like, I don't want to sound like my dad, I don't want to sound like these people I've heard, and you're doing it unconsciously? Or do you think, I don't know.
I think I get what you're saying. It wasn't that. No, it wasn't that at all. Because actually, it probably was just because I was unaware.
Okay.
Like, I knew of it, and like I heard it and I liked it, but I didn't study it.
You didn't know enough of it.
Yeah, I didn't know enough of it.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't start really learning and delving deep into hip-hop as a whole until high school. So, once I did that, like, to be honest, the first person that started to influence me was Eminem. Which is kind of... I wouldn't expect that from me, because he's not my favorite rapper, but, like, he was just so... lyrical.
Yeah,
like,
so
it was just so intricate. Like, you hear some shit
level.
And it's like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
But then, of course, like I said, I was unaware. So then, that was around the time Recovery came out, and that's the only exactly. That's the only reason that it really had that effect on me, because it was like I knew who Eminem was, and I fucked with, I just don't give a and the Slim Shady song and all of that. So Eminem came out with a new album at that time, and it was like, oh shit, this is a 90s 90s dude coming out, and he's, you know what I'm saying? It was like, all right, Eminem is my influence right now. But once I started like actually getting into it, obviously Nas became a big part of the influence, and Tribe Called Quest, and fun fact, Phife Dawg was actually a family friend.
Really?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
He was a family friend. He grew up with my aunt, so like he was tight with my aunt, and he was real cool with my mom, and like they grew up around the way. Like,
that's incredible.
When he mentions like I live in the neighborhood, like when they just renamed a street off Linden Boulevard after him. I didn't get to go to the ceremony or whatever because I was here, but you know.
No, and actually, I was gonna say I was gonna mention A Tribe Called Quest, because I was listening to what was it? I think it was off of College Boy.
What would give you a Quest vibe with that?
Oh, it may not have been. It may not have been that. It may have been First Project instead. There was something on it. It felt so Tribe. I was sitting there. I'm like, oh shit!
Yeah, now
like,
I'm curious. I really need to hear.
Okay, hold up. Let me just look.
I'm curious now.
While we're waiting for that,
yeah.
So where are you from exactly?
Queens, New York.
Okay. So have you felt yourself more influenced by East Coast rap as opposed to West Coast?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, definitely.
So West Coast rap is super popular.
Yeah.
And how would you like deal with that? Are you trying to bring back the old school East Coast?
Yes. There's a way. Okay, so this is the thing. This is what we're working on right now. This is currently what I'm working on right now.
Okay.
You know the sound that's popular now with rap music.
Yeah.
Like the whole, it's really about beats. You know, nobody really listen too tough to anything else. So, and then the West Coast kind of has their own thing with like TDE and all of that. Like, I fuck with what the West Coast is doing because they're actually paying attention, and like YG is actually dope, and you know, like their artists are still saying something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Like our artists, not to knock them, I still like our artists a lot, but like A$AP Rocky he doesn't really have anything to say. He's talking about Raph and all of that.
Versus
you know what I'm saying?
Kendrick.
Exactly, versus a Kendrick or Ab-Soul. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These dudes are popping on the West Coast.
I'd say probably like only East Coast rapper to do that is probably Joey Badass.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and
Joey
that
Badass.
is my favorite East Coast rapper besides
his
J.
new
Cole.
album. His album that came out
Nas.
this year was insane.
Amazing. And honestly, I would have given it album of the year if it wasn't for Dan.
Yeah. Damn.
Like,
right.
that really just ruined his chances, honestly.
Yeah.
But shit, what was the original question?
How do you like meld the East Coast versus West Coast with West Coast being more popular? It seems.
Oh, right. Okay. So obviously, and a lot of people notice this. Like the people that like that listen to me would say that I'm more boom bap, lyrical.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not looking for a catchy beat or catchy hook or anything. I have them, but it's not what I'm. It's just it went with the song. It wasn't something I was looking for. You know what I mean? I've found a way to integrate that aspect of hip hop with this new generation. You know what I mean? So that they kind of collide and you get something completely different. Like what is it? Like I would show you guys because it's on my phone, but I can't. Not yet.
Okay.
But it's the few people that have heard it. There's only been like 2 or 3 people that's heard it. Have told me like, yo, that's actually a lot better than what you've been doing. You know,
That's awesome.
It's kind of shitty because it's like I don't want to have to like. The art is supposed to be for me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, considering the fact that, you know, I love doing this, I do want to be successful at it. And if you want to be successful at it, you have to find ways to adapt.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm literally adapting to what other people want, but trying to keep that...
Your own identity.
Yeah, trying to keep myself in there. And it's just, I don't want to lose it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I feel that. Actually, because that brings us back to, we had Sheridan Davenport
I was
on
going
the
to
podcast.
say that's something that I could
and she
go down.
said something exactly the same. That's...
Yeah.
It's because it's all around.
Yeah,
like,
but I mean, like, as an artist, I mean, I don't necessarily rap or do any type of physical art where I'm creating something, but this is technically an art. Like, it's a medium by which we have to hopefully share somebody's story. And even with that, you see that a lot of times you want to do it for you because it gives you that personal satisfaction. Like, I got in there, I did this shit, and like, this is me. But then you also have to be like, okay, wait, this is gonna go to somebody else.
Yeah.
Like, I'm making it for me, but somebody else is listening to it. So sometimes, like, you have to tailor that sound to those people that are listening without losing yourself.
So that begs the question
the hardest part
of
about it.
How do you meld? I asked this exact same question with Cher, but how do you meld the world of making art for the artist versus making art for the people? Because there is a divide in like saying, okay, this is what people want, this is what's in right now, and going towards that thing versus the kind of more like personal stuff, like especially in literature and like art through like painting and that variety, where there's art for artists because they know art theory, because they can understand this kind of stuff, and that's more abstract. And writing, you know, you can get lost in this world of like making it super complicated and abstract that like your everyday person's gonna read it and they're like, I don't get this. This makes no sense. So how do you, as a rapper, use this medium to not make rap for other rappers or for other lyricist, but for a people while still staying true to your own personal self and like telling your story, but still having it be marketable, because there is much more marketability in music.
Okay, so there's this theory by Socrates that, like, if everybody just mastered their craft, the world would flow perfectly, basically, right? If you weren't forced into like now we're low-key forced into living within society's realm, you know what I mean, like in their little bracket or whatever.
So my one call with that
what's
is
up?
Of like a carpenter mastering his craft is being able to do it extremely efficient, because that's something that is less abstract than something like art.
It's more objective.
Where like a carpenter can't just like create this crazy contraption and then say, yeah, it's a chair, because that
a chair
has its function and it will be more sittable versus a rap or like a poem or something like that, where there is a separation between you can master that craft and have it be completely unintelligible to the modern, like, or to like the common person.
See, I believe if you master that craft, regardless of shoot, where was I going with that? Just put it like this: I believe if you master that craft, there's no way anybody can ignore it.
Okay.
When it comes to especially if it comes to something like rap, like, because you'll hear people like, shoot, who can trying to pull up something off the dome. Nas, I guess, or Big L. Okay. I'll say Big L because he doesn't appeal to everybody. Yeah. You know, but he was still successful for that time that he was alive. For people who don't know, Big L was like a dope lyricist from New York, from Harlem, but he mastered that, and it was something you had to admire in it, and that's what made you listen. You know what I'm saying? Like, he still had a big fan base. A lot of people know who Big L is, and he has a lot of influence on a lot of like rappers that are lyrical today. You know what I mean? So the way I feel about it, as long as I keep working on this, that whole 10,000 hour rule, while I don't necessarily think it's really 10,000 hours, I think it's just a saying, because if that's the case, then this shit would have worked already. I do believe that if you continue working on something that you love doing and you put your all into it, there's no way you're gonna fail.
And
you get what I'm saying? And
just to continue off of that, if you think about the effect that a lyrical artist like Big L would have on some of your favorite rappers today, because even though they may not be lyricists, they probably heard it. They probably took something from him. So, and in even your favorite lyricist, I guarantee Joey Badass knows who that is. I guarantee he's taken
definitely.
And it's like those
For
people.
the record though, Cole is my favorite rapper, not Joey.
Really?
Okay, yeah. Just for the record. Go ahead. Yeah.
All right. But these artists that are out today have taken from these dudes in the past that may not have been the biggest, but they were some of the most innovative to the rap game itself. So it's not necessarily. So I think just going with lyrical rap itself, I fuck with the direction that you're looking at, because you're like, I want to be lyrical. I want to put a meaning into my craft, and regardless of whether or not I become this big mega star, if I master it, nobody can ignore it.
Exactly.
If I master it.
So
I respect that.
This is leading me to a great transition to what I wanted to talk about next, that I made a note about earlier, which is kind of sampling. So, like, a lot of the masters of the game, like, sample a lot. Like, Kanye samples...
A lot of the masters of the game.
Everything. Kanye samples everything. Yeah. And I was reminded of a Tribe Called Quest in Can I Kick It, how they sampled Lou Reed's Walk on the Wild Side. So, a lot of that is going outside the genre of hip-hop. It's going outside the genre of R&B, which you talked about growing up, like, hearing a lot of. So, first off, do you listen to stuff outside of this beat-oriented music?
Yes, all the time.
Okay, so do you sometimes just, like, listen to a song, like an indie song or a rock song or a country song or whatever, and be like, yeah, okay, this is a nice, like, bass. I could go over this.
Yeah.
So, okay, so what kind of stuff is catching your ear? What kind of stuff do you want to work with outside of the beat-oriented field? What kind of stuff really gets you going?
Honestly, it's more... I'm a real chill person, and this might actually throw y'all off a little bit. Like, something I want to rap over would be like, how could I describe it? It's almost an Anderson .Paak type feel. Like just something real vibey. I listen a lot to
kind of
like
bluesy.
Yeah.
Have you listened
but also,
to Smino?
Smino's
No,
good.
I've heard of him.
Smino's real good.
I haven't listened to it. I haven't listened to him yet. But him, I don't know if this is stepping outside of the realm of hip hop. I don't know if you guys listen to like Alina Baraz or Sabrina Claudio, Daniel Caesar. Like, these are singers, and these are like just a whole bunch of ballads. But there's something in there that can be used, and I'm just trying to figure out how to use it. That's really all it is. So, I kind of you got to take from them, you know, and see how they use it to understand the intricacies of the beat and stuff, like to understand how to flow on something like that. And once I get that, and then I get the beat thing going, like, it's just gonna be, you know, I'm Drake, you know what I'm saying?
But when you say ballads, do you mean like, because there's a track by Eminem called Drug Ballad.
So,
you mean like a?
Okay, so
you mean like
I'm gonna delve into the history of ballads.
Wait.
Well,
can I ask the question?
Yeah, I'll go.
I didn't even get to ask the question. So, do you mean more like the Drug Ballad track like Eminem has?
To be honest, I haven't heard that.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I haven't heard that.
He goes like, every time I go and try to leave, some shit pulling up my sleeve, I'm a sucker. All I gotta say, these drugs really got me feeling this way, or something like that.
So, do you know the historical root for what a ballad is?
Nah.
I don't remember. Hold on, let me look at that.
So a ballad is it's a type of poem. In the same way that like an ode is a type of poem, where a ballad is about kind of, I'm forgetting exactly, but it has a certain metrical like time and certain stanza lengths. I feel bad that I can't remember this right now.
Really? I listened to the Marshall.
But yeah, it comes from like the 16th century, like we talked about in class that one time, like sonnets and like romantic poetry. It evolves from that. And so then there will be a ballad like that is sort of epic influence, where it'll be like the ballad of this great knight, and talking about like how good they are, where it is supposed to be kind of romanticizing it. So
that makes the track make a bunch more sense, because in the track he's romanticizing drugs.
Yeah. So
then that might have been the wrong word to use then.
Well, no. Like the way that we commonly understand it is like they are love songs. Every ballad that you hear is a love song, like ballads are. I wouldn't say "I Will Always Love You" by Whitney Houston is a ballad, but that is like one kind of it.
Yeah.
Where is that kind of like more so what you're talking about, where it is like the slower thing, where it's more emphasis, kind of like how Adele's music focuses on her voice.
That was more so. I use ballad for lack of a better word, honestly. Like, it's very. It's really vibey music. Like,
no, like
some of them you can kind of, some of them you can bop to. And then other ones, it's just like you just gotta appreciate.
If you listen to Smino, that's his type of music.
Really?
Yeah. No, it's a lot of it is real vibe. Like, if you put on his most recent album called Black Swan. The first track, man, it sends you to another place.
Have you listened to Six Black?
Yeah.
Okay. So, you haven't listened to him?
No, I'll check him out.
You got it.
I would say songs like Problems and shit, like that. I don't want to sound full of myself, but like I'm trying to take that and take it to the next level.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? And like integrate it into my sound. You know what I mean?
I got you.
That's probably the easiest I can explain it.
No, I know what you mean.
Not even just him though, because I like Six Black.
I
don't know if I think he's that great of a singer. I think he's very good at what he does.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's found him and has mastered him.
Yeah.
So you have no choice but to acknowledge him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So now I want to bring this back to Xavier, because like we are focused on college kids living a different experience. Right. We've talked a lot about you as a rapper. Now I want to talk about you as a student.
Yeah, how does
so
that...
you're a DIFT major. Why did you choose digital innovation, film, and television, as opposed to something where you're able to focus more on writing, like English or something like that, or something on ideas and conveying them, like philosophy? So why did you choose DIFT, and I'm biased because I'm an English and philosophy. But yeah.
Chose DIFT. It was a couple reasons. One reason was I was like, look, I'm going to college. There's not really much that I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what I want to do.
Yeah.
So what interests me right now? Like, what else would I do? And growing up, I used to write stories. Like, I always wrote stories. We used to ride down south to North Carolina to visit family. I'd be writing stories while I was in the car. You know what I'm saying? So it was always like, I like telling stories.
Yeah.
And
I'm the same.
yeah, exactly. So
I love stories.
So it's like, all right, you like telling stories. Well, what do you want to do with that? Well, shit. It'd be dope to kind of make a movie.
Yeah.
Huh. That actually ain't a bad idea.
I love the thought process.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I started looking for schools that had like film and stuff. At first I was looking at journalism and all of that because I was really deep into sports. I played football like through high school and stuff, like all the way from like second grade. But it was supposed to be journalism and like sportscasting and all of that. And DIFT kind of entails newscasting a little bit, but I don't want to do news. Like, now that I've experienced it and been to like news stations and had to do news packages and stuff, I don't really want to do news. But I still like writing stories and making shit up. You know what I mean? And I still want to be able to bring stuff to life. And ultimately, I mean, this was more so just a recent development within me. I want to make a movie. And I want to make a soundtrack for the like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want it to go hand in hand, almost like you guys ever seen Baby Driver?
Yes.
No, I haven't.
Yes.
Okay, so you see how the movie is like to the playlist or whatever, something like that, but it's my music.
That's dope.
You get what I'm saying?
That's dope as fuck.
That's really the goal. Like, so DIFT was it definitely has deterred me a little bit from the music because it's so time consuming.
Yeah.
But you still learn a lot in the process.
Yeah, do you feel like it's worth it?
Yeah. I'll be able to make my own videos and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm learning a lot of wow, what is the word I'm looking for?
Helpful skills.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why did
I was just skills.
Like, I'm learning a lot of that, and I'm from New York, so to take that back to New York, like, there's doors open everywhere. You know what I mean? So
now I want to talk about the rapper as a college student. Because a lot of times people think of rappers and they don't think, oh, college educated, person. Even though a lot of rappers do have incredible educations.
Yo, Plies is he's a grad. I think he got a PhD or something.
What?
I know Plies is smart as hell. Plies is smart. Plies has like a degree. He has a degree in something that's like, oh shit, I wasn't expecting that. But yeah, Plies is.
That's crazy.
Building on that, like, I'm reminded of Kanye again, just because I like Kanye. But, like, he dropped out of college. And there are a lot of rappers... and made an album called College Dropout. But, like, there are a lot of rappers that dropped out of college but still spent time there. So how do you feel like your college experience putting itself through college? And, like, through your own music and, like, the stuff that you're learning here, do you feel that, like, seeping out through the music that you're making, or are you trying to, like, I talked about, like, tampering it for the, like, the regular person? A lot of them don't expect, college ideas to come out in their music. This makes me think about Art Rap and, like, Bus Driver and Milo and Open Mic Eagle, and, like, where they are focusing on expressing these ideas and having the more art influence stuff. Where do you find yourself in this contradiction of rappers shouldn't be, super college educated?
I acknowledge it and bring it to the forefront, so you can't tell me that.
Okay.
I'll tell you exactly. That's what College Boy is about.
Yep.
Like, I am a college kid, yes, but I can still spit.
Okay.
And you can't take that from me. No, I'm not from the hood. I actually have a song that it's gonna come out soon. I'm gonna do a video for it first, but it's called Real Nigga. And basically it's saying, like, I've never done this, I've never done that, I've never had to. I understand that some people have. Yeah. But you can't tell me I'm not real just because I haven't done it. Like, it's all relative, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I've been on both sides of the spectrum, so I know what it's like outside of college. And I know what's, I have a lot of friends that's not in college. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I see what they're going through. And then, like, I'm not in college during the summer, so I'm basically experiencing life just the same. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm taking those experiences and I'm adding the college experiences, and honestly, they're life lessons, like low key. At least for me, but come to find out, people actually be thinking the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
So
no, like that's the same feeling that I got when I first listened to College Boy, because you know I had to listen, right? I had to listen to the music.
I
So
haven't listened to it yet. I'm bad at doing my research
So
on
good.
guests.
And like just looking through the track list, and I look at the titles, it's social media.
Mhm.
One's called College Boy itself. So I'm like, okay, this is really tailored towards college kids living life in college.
because it's almost like a lot of people, not a lot of people, but there is a good amount of people that feel like if you go to college, like you kind of just shunned a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, why?
Yeah.
So I'm reminded of a line from Childish Gambino: "Too white for the black kids, too black for the white kids."
Yeah.
So
Earl Sweatshirt said that too.
Yeah.
On Chum.
he did, yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But so how do you find yourself dealing with that, going to a primarily white institution?
Mhm.
Like, where do you find yourself in that contradiction of being somebody that isn't, the stereotype of a black male rapper, which is, kind of a caricature of an uneducated, person that had this like super difficult lifestyle?
Yeah.
How do you find yourself being black and expressing your blackness while still being at a primarily white institution?
The easiest way I can answer that is just being real. Like, what people don't know, it's funny because like a lot of people will assume shit,
Mm-hmm.
and not really know what's going on. But the thing is, like, I think a lot, and I question people's genuineness and stuff. You know what I mean? So
And I'm right
See,
there.
So
Nah,
because it's
I
like
feel that.
we like, for example, say people, you see these people on campus, you don't really talk to them, but you notice them and they
Mhm.
notice you. So you form this little like routine where if you see them, you say what's up.
Mhm.
But it's just a what's up, as in like,
Yeah, hey,
like,
you're that
hey,
person
like,
that I see all the time.
exactly, like,
Yeah.
you don't mean anything behind it. You don't want to. I don't want to know how you're doing, and I
Yeah.
know you don't want to know how I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like, it's not real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people take that the wrong way, and they'll be like, he's mean or whatever. And it's like, no,
Yeah.
it's just I don't have anything to say right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if I don't have anything to say, I'm not gonna sit here and try to force a conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's gonna work, it's gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So there is no
Man, you just you jumped into my head and pulled out all the thoughts, like everything. Because I think the same shit. Because I pass by people all the time, and they say hi to you. You don't want to be mean, so you be like, hey, what's up?
exactly.
But your mind is in a million other places. You're not thinking about them. 'Cause
Exactly.
See, personally,
That's
I
what I'm
love
saying.
that because like I get lost in my own mind, and like
Same.
I will like
Yeah,
create these
man.
like worlds where all this stuff is happening. And then when somebody walks by and says, "What's up?" I'm like, "Oh shit! I'm in like
You're
this
like,
is real
yeah,
life.
yeah.
There's a person right there," and so it allows me to like connect back to reality. So that's why I love that. But
That leads me to a question. Do you meditate or do any like spiritual type?
A form of it.
All right,
form
no,
of it.
because just going based off of the way that you talk about your mind, like, it seems like similar to mine too. So I know for myself.
You meditate.
Yeah. I
Okay.
try to every morning. It's nothing like serious. It's like 3-minute meditation.
Just
You
calming your mind.
Yeah, exactly, and it allows you to like allow thoughts to come,
Mhm.
but then also allow them to go. So you sort of
Exactly.
you're a passenger within your own mind. You just
Yeah.
sort of let it go by. So sort of translating that into the music,
Mhm.
because like you said, you're calm. You like those vibe chill beats.
Yeah.
So when you take this meditation and trying to calm yourself, how do you put that forth within your music?
That's a good question. Wow. I don't know if I can really explain that. Like,
Yeah.
it's a feeling, and you just have to learn how to articulate it.
Mhm.
You know, I know what I want to say. Like,
Yeah.
I know what I want to get. Usually, it'll start off. I gotta have an idea for a song. What do I want to talk about?
Yeah.
That's the first thing. What do you want to talk about? So let's sit and think about everything that's happened. You know what I'm saying? And literally, like, you're supposed. That's the whole point of rap. It was basically just to express your experience or tell your experiences, express your emotions, things like that.
Yeah.
And you start with that idea. What do I want to talk about? And then you gotta kind of delve deeper into it. So, for example, there's one song called "How It Goes." This is a newer one though, and I haven't even recorded it yet. I just wrote it, and it's basically just about the repercussions that came with being, or not necessarily repercussions, but like what happens after you get messed up by somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like after you've been with somebody for a while and it ends badly.
Yeah.
It doesn't end the way you wanted it to,
Yeah.
and it does affect you, whether you want it to or not. And how it affects you, you may not realize until later on. You know what I mean? So that affected me, and this is from something years ago, but that affected me, and I saw that, and I'm trying to think how it came to pass. I think I was talking to somebody about fuckboys, basically.
Yeah.
I was talking about it. I was like, yo, that's crazy how people become them. And then I'm like, shit, like, that happened to me. Like, because I was realizing it in the moment because I was just going through some shit anyway. So it was like, that's not cool, but why is it like that? You know what I mean? Like, there's always a reason for something. It's not like you're just like that. You know what I mean? Unless you're Trump, like, but you really just it's like
no, like I know it's
searching for the catalyst.
Yeah.
What causes the change?
Exactly. And then you once you figure out what causes the change, it's like, okay, well, how would you fix it? And now that you know you're doing it, are you going to fix it, or are you gonna? That right there determines who you are as a person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So am I gonna continue to be this person and just not care, or am I going to actually step up and be a grown man about it? You know what I mean? And I chose to be a grown man. But the thing is, I know a lot of people are not doing that.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure I have a few friends that's like that. You know what I mean? Not to call them out or anything. That's just, they chose to do that. I'm not saying you're any less of a man, but I know you're going through it. And whether you reach that point where you understand that you're going through it or not, I want to show you, like, just in case. And then I'll tell you how I got over it.
Yeah.
And maybe you can get over it the same.
Yeah, I think there's also just like a stigma within, like, and not even just male community, but black male community, especially when it comes to feelings and just feelings in general. Like, I'll tell you, because where I went to high school, mad diverse. So we got the poorest people, the richest people, the blackest people, the whitest people. We got everybody, right? So, you know, I hang out with certain black kids in my school, and after a while, you know, you hear them whisper like, "Yo, that nigga, he's not like a real nigga though." And it's like, why is that the case? And I never understood that.
It's really all a relative thing.
Yeah, honestly. That brings up. I'm glad we circled back to this because I wanted to ask this question for a while. You talked about realness a lot. What is that? Like, concretely, how do you define being real? Because it's kind of an abstract idea. Like, you associate it with being, you know, genuine, with being honest. What does it look like, or what does it sound like through your music? What is realness to you?
To me, realness is being comfortable with who you are and not catering to what everybody expects you to be. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And if they can't take that, then that means they don't need to be around you. You get what I mean? So, like, I have a lot of friends, and then there's people I know, and like I said, like, you have that whole high-buy situation thing type going on. Sometimes we might end up in a conversation because we're in the same place, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes we could be sitting in the same place and I won't say anything to them. And it's not awkward for me because it's like, there's no conversation here. Yeah. I haven't seen you in, like, I don't know nothing. I don't know anything about you. I don't know your interests, your hobbies, anything like that. And I can ask you, but at the same time, it's like,
what am I going to get out of
asking? What am I going to get out of asking? I don't like small talk. That's my biggest thing. I hate small talk. If I'm going to talk to you, we're going to talk.
I'm the opposite. I love small talk. I think it's hilarious.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's so funny.
No, but see, I think small talk is funny too, but I also hate it. I hate
that
it.
Right there. That's why I love it. That right there. That right there is like a problem to me because I feel like a lot of people put on that facade. Like, They want you to like them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know one.
I don't
one
care if
girl
you like
that
me
does
or not.
that. Yeah.
That's just that's being real to me. Not caring whether somebody likes you or not. Not being a dickhead about it.
Yeah.
You know, you're not an asshole. You just.
It's like, you don't like me? All right. Cool.
Yeah, like you chilling. I'm chilling.
Yeah, that's
If you want to talk,
so.
if you want to talk to me, just talk to me.
Yeah.
I'll answer you.
Man.
I'll be genuine as hell. Like, I love people. I don't like small talk.
Yeah.
I kind of just want to defend small talk.
But
But I'm not going to.
No,
I'm not going to.
I don't mean to come at nobody's
So
head in that.
my defense of small talk is that it's not risky. Like, a lot of times my worry with like getting genuine, and this is partially just because I deal with depression and anxiety, and just kind of stuff like this, is like, if I'm talking real with you, it's not going to be something you're going to like. Like, I know people that are like, yeah, my parents pay for my college education. They pay my rent. They give me like $100, like a certain amount of money a month.
Man, I don't wish.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't
God
get that
damn.
at all. And like, I don't just want to be like, yeah, I've had to buy my family's groceries like multiple weeks in a row. That I don't just want to bring that up, and that's me
Yeah,
talking
I see
real.
what you're saying.
And
I
so
can understand that.
I'm able, like, I love small talk because I don't have to talk about like either how fucking depressed I am in that moment, or like the situations around why I act the way I do, or these other things. And so I find small talk, first off, I think it's hilarious because, like, I love talking about the weather. I think it's really interesting.
I'm sorry, I hate that shit.
I love it. I think it's super interesting.
Fucking great.
But-
Nice weather outside.
Yeah.
But
It's a
like,
bit chilly.
beyond like how funny it is just saying, oh yeah, it's chilly. Yeah, everybody fucking knows it's chilly.
Yeah, like we're
But,
there.
like,
We're experiencing the weather too.
Yeah, I love pushing people beyond that because, like, I love actually talking about meteorology, and I'm like, yeah, it's a little bit humid. It's about growing up
that's different.
around side of
yeah,
river.
exactly.
That's a
But
different
I still
viewpoint.
count that as small talk because we aren't talking about who we are
You're not
as
talking
a
about
person.
personal details.
Okay.
We're
I
not
get
talking
what you
about
mean by
who
that.
we are as a person. We're talking about something exterior that doesn't matter, and we can just stop talking about the weather, and the weather's still gonna exist.
See, I don't consider that small talk.
Okay.
I feel
So
like
then
if you
small
can
talk
get-
to you is
Small
just
talk to me is just
ingenuine.
like, how are you doing? I'm good. How are you?
See,
I'm good.
great.
See, I'm
You know what I'm
honest
saying?
in
How's
those
your day been?
situations.
It was
If people are like, "How are
See,
you?"
Me too.
I'll be
That's
like,
the thing. Me
yes.
too. But a lot of people, if I answered them honestly, it'd be like, oh, like, all right. And
it's
some
like,
people
oh,
will get turned off, and
okay.
others will be
Yeah.
curious.
Yeah.
So
And it's like, if you turned off,
All right,
That ain't my
fine.
problem.
the way I
Yeah.
handle that is like, people just think it's funny and respond to it like I'm telling a joke sometimes. But people are like, "How are you?" And I'll be like, and I'll think about it. I'll
Yeah.
genuinely think about it and be like,
Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm really okay. And they'll like,
They'll be like,
and then I'll be like, "How are you?" And they're like, "Oh, I'm good." And I'm like, "That's delightful," because I honestly think it's like, it's incredible. It's beautiful that they're doing good. And so like I'll respond to them in that genuine manner, and people will laugh.
But
okay, no, I see where you're coming from.
But this
though.
is the thing.
I get your
This is the
perspective.
thing. So I remember having this conversation with somebody in the caf last week, and we were talking about one particular person that we know that always does this, where they have like a script for small talk. It's the same
What?
every single time, without
Yeah.
fail. Starts with, "Hey, what's up? How you doing? How's your day been? How's your family?" And then like any extra things, and then you go on your way.
Wow.
And the thing is, I can appreciate small talk, especially because I came from a place where I was really shy, really quiet. So I appreciated small talk because it was an easy way for me to get to know somebody before I could feel comfortable with them. Then I sort of just said, fuck everyone. I don't want to give a shit anymore. So I can appreciate that small talk angle. But for me personally, small talk is for fake people, in my opinion. I think sometimes you ask someone, how's your day? And they're going to say good, regardless of whether or not they're having the worst day of their life or if they're having the greatest day of their life. They just be like, oh, my day's been good.
And it's like, if I ask you that question, if I ever ask anybody that question, I'm genuinely interested in how are you doing right now.
And the thing is, if you are going to give a fake response, then what the fuck is the point of the conversation in the first place?
Acknowledgement. That is purely it. You're acknowledging the other person. It's like if you're in a like.
But I have no reason to acknowledge.
No, but here's the thing. You know the person, right? Mm-hmm. You know who they are. is it more awkward to just like look at
be like, hey,
stare
what's
at them? Yeah, exactly. You'll be like, "Hey, what's up?"
And then that's it.
And then
Go about
that
your,
is the
go about
response.
your business.
Some people like the way that they're oriented is to respond and like give these scripted responses and have a completely scripted conversation. That's grounding for them. That is acknowledging their existence.
That's
versus having
and
like a real thing. It's the
that
same
makes
thing
sense
as like
from their
doing the nod
perspective,
to like to someone.
Yeah.
Except from their like culture, from the way
It's
that they're
validating
raised.
Okay, so
their
put it like
existence
this.
that
Put
somebody
it like
else
this
knows
then.
them.
This'll kind of like sum it up
Yeah.
for me.
Good, 'cause I
The
wanna
main
move on.
reason the main reason I don't like small talk is because you cannot tell the difference between what's genuine and what's not.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Okay, I understand that. Yeah.
And I'd rather just know from the jump, so I'm just gonna be 100% with you from the front. You know what I'm saying? If like I said, if I ask how you doing, I literally want to know how you're doing. Like
Yeah.
I want to give me fucking details. Don't sit here and tell me I'm good. I'm
It's
cool.
like-
you know what I'm saying?
like, then why
'cause
did I ask you?
why am I asking you then? I'm trying. I really want. I want to start a conversation with you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Most of the time I won't start like that, but occasionally I do. And the people I ask will actually give me that response back. But then there's some people that still give me that good, cool, and I'll have to be like, yo, I asked you how you're doing.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
Don't give me that. You know what I'm saying? Like I know you.
Yeah.
There's no reason for you to be this way with me. You know what I mean?
I gotcha. So then, now building on, you said realness is like expressing who you are. That. So my question, this is a super vague, super broad question. Who the fuck are you, Shon?
Who is Shon Weathers? Shon
Yeah.
Weathers doesn't know himself 100% yet. And I don't think anybody ever
So-
really fully learns himself 100%.
I think that's a good
But-
thing, though.
From what you do know, who are you? Like, what do you?
Who am
I
I?
like when you're introducing yourself to someone. Do you say, "Hi, I'm Shon Weathers. I'm a senior DIFT major. I'm a rapper."
I'm a rapper
Or
on
like,
the East
how
Coast.
how do you express Shon Weathers in a nutshell?
How do I express Shon Weathers in a sarcasm?
Sarcasm.
I'm a sarcastic asshole. Like I'm so sarcastic, but
Yeah.
it's like an asshole in a good way. Like it's the reason I have friends, type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm a dreamer, a creator. Like I don't like living within confines. Like you know what I'm saying? I need freedom. I need creative freedom.
Yeah.
I need physical freedom. Like I just like being able to do what I want to do, and I'm very passionate about everything. Like I'm a passionate.
Can you get
person.
out of my head, bro? Like, you get out of my head.
Like, it's just I'm involved in a lot of stuff, like not just skateboarding and rap, like photography and spoken word. Shit, I'm great at 2K. Like,
So anybody want to play him?
yeah, like you know
We
what I'm
got
saying.
you.
Like
We set
there's
up
a
a
lot
game.
of stuff. I ain't gonna give everything away because then they, you know what I'm saying, people gonna think they know me. But Shon is he's honestly a chill person, and I fuck with people. But I like being by myself too.
Yes.
And I feel like if you don't like being, if you're not comfortable by yourself, then you are not necessarily comfortable with who you are yet.
Yeah. And
You know what I mean?
actually, going off of that, there's this documentary from this dude who got sentenced, I think, 30 years for a crime he didn't commit. His name's Nick Yaris, and he talks about in his jail cell, he would just talk to himself because he's surrounded by killers. He's surrounded by people that either want to kill him, rape him, do whatever. So he had to be that one person in his life during those 30 years that would say nice things to him because he needed somebody to be like, you look good today. You know, today's going to be a good day. Go out there. And he learned how to talk to himself so well. He read the dictionary, memorized every word in the dictionary, knows how to use it in a sentence. He's probably one of the best spoken people I've ever heard, and it was because he talked about being comfortable within his own skin. He feels, this is me. If you don't like me, you can get the fuck out of my face. Like, I don't need to cater to what you want, because this is what I am. This is who I am. I know me. All right. Well, Shon Weathers, thank you for coming on this show.
Thank you for having me.
It was great having you talking about rap, talking about life, talking about the universe.
Yeah, it's
what we try.
super interesting actually learning who you are because you're in my poetry class,
Yeah.
but like outside of that, we haven't really talked much. So it's awesome.
I'll be at that meeting this week.
Sweet.
His link to anything Shon Weathers related.
SHON.
Yes.
SHON.
SHON.
Weathers, like the weather outside with an S.
Yes. Anything related to Shon will be in the description. Definitely check out his music. If you're a college student who maybe going through some difficult times and may not understand their situation, I think this music is literally for you, as well as if you just want to listen to some dope ass lyricism, with some vibe ass beats. He's also just for you. So again, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
And listen to us next week.
Yeah, hope y'all enjoy. Have a great week. Peace.